So guys, in this video, we'll be solving some questions with respect to profit and loss. These will be very basic question to help you get a better understanding of it. Right? So what has been given that Alok bought a watch for 250. So bought a watch, that simply means my cost price is 250. Sold it for 300. So my selling price becomes equal to 300. Correct? Find the profit percentage. So profit percentage is given by what? Profit percentage is given by selling price by cost price. So selling price by cost price will be what? 300 divided by 250. That is nothing but 12 by 10 or 6 by 5. So basically there is an initial value is 5, final value is 6. So there is an increase of 1 over 5. So increase of 1 over 5 depicts what percentage? It depicts a 20%. So my profit percentage is going to be 20%. Right? Moving on to the second question. So Anand gained 20% by selling a book at rupees 30. Find his gain percentage if he sells it for 36. Okay, so if the selling price is 30, right? My profit is 20%, right? So first I need to calculate the cost price. So my cost price is going to be equal to what? My cost price is going to be equal to selling price divided by multiplying factor, right? This is fraction is 1 by 5. Multiplying factor is going to be 6 by 5, correct? So over here, what you are going to get? 30 divided by 6 by 5. This becomes equal to 30 multiplied by 5 by 6, right? This goes 5 times. This goes 25. So my cost price is 25 rupees. Now the question is that if it sells for 36, so my new selling price is equal to 36 rupees. Correct? My new selling price is equal to 36 rupees. And if I have to calculate the profit percentage, it will still be selling price by cost price. So my selling price this time around is 36. My cost price is 25. Correct? So 36 by 25. What we see over here is an increment of 9 over 25. There is because original value was 25. Sorry, an increment of 11 over 25. Right? Increment of 10 over 25, see 10% of 25 is 2.5, 4 times of it is 10. So I know that my percentage is more than 40, right? Next, what do you have? So 1% is what? 1% of 225 is 0.25, right? 0.25 into 4 gives you what? It gives you a 1. So up till 10, it was 4, that is 40%, 10% into 4, 40%. Then the remaining one that you have, that is 1% into 4, that is a total of 44%. So my profit percentage would have been 44% if sold for 36 rupees, right? Moving on to the next. So it says that the cost of 4 apples equals the selling price of 3 apples. Find the profit or loss percentage. So it has been given, see, a different type of question. So try and understand it. The cost of 4 apples is equal to selling price of 3 apples. So let's assume that cost price of 1 apple is equal to 1 rupee. So in that case, the cost price of 4 apples is going to be equal to 4 rupees. Whenever such questions come, now it's best to perform unitary method, right? Best way to carry them out. Calculate on a single unit ka price. So cost price of 1 is 1 rupee, cost price of 4 is 4 rupees. And it has been given that cost price of 4 is equal to selling price of 3. So now you also know that the selling price of 3 apples is equal to 4 rupees, correct? So selling price of 1 apple is equal to 4 by 3 rupees. Correct? So now I have the selling price of 1, I have the cost price of 1. Everything becomes easy for me, right? So percentage profit or loss is given by SP by CP. SP by CP is nothing but 4 by 3 divided by 1. Correct? So this is nothing but 4 by 3. So original value was 3, final value is 4. So we see an increment of 1 over 3. An increment of 1 over 3 depicts what? 33.33% ka increment. So that's the correct answer, right? Let's solve one more question. The profit made by selling 5 meter of cloth equals the selling price of 2 meter of cloth. Find the profit percentage made, right? So let's say the profit on 1 meter is 1 rupee, correct? So the profit on 5 meters is going to be equal to 5 rupees. Now it says that this 5 rupees is equal to selling price of 2 meter. So selling price of 2 meters is 5 rupees. So selling price of one item is going to be 5 by 2. Right? Or we can say 2.5 rupees. So now I know the selling price, I know the profit. I can calculate the cost price. Selling price minus profit is equal to cost price. So my selling price is 2.5. My profit is 1. So my cost price is going to be equal to 1.5. Profit or loss percentage is given by SP by CP. SP by CP will be nothing but 2.5 divided by 1.5. 2.5 divided by 1.5 is nothing but 5 by 3. So original value is 3, final value is 5. So we see an increment of 2 by 3. 2 by 3 simply represents a 66.66% ka growth, right? So the percentage profit is 66.66%. Moving on to the next. A trader promised his customer to sell at cost price, but he cheats his customer by giving 100 grams less for every kg that he sells. Find the profit percentage. So let's say that the cost price of 1 gram is equal to 1 rupee. So the cost price of 1000 grams is going to be equal to 1000 rupees, right? 1000 rupees. Now try and understand. This is dishonest seller. You need to understand it clearly, right? So my cost price of 1000 gram is 1000 rupees, right? For the shopkeeper. Now I go to the shopkeeper and shopkeeper tells me कि भैया I'll give you at the cost price. मेरे को 1000 ग्राम 1000 रुपए का पड़ता है. 1000 gram costs me rupees 1000. I'll give it 1000 grams to you at 1000 rupees. But what he does is he actually is only giving 900 grams. So he's giving 900 grams for, and he's taking money from me. How much money is he taking? Entire 1000 rupees. Right? So he's taking entire 1000 rupees for me, but only giving me 900 grams. Right? Selling. So my selling price of 1 gram turns out to be equal to what? See why I said कि इन सारे questions को 1 unit में लेकर के चलो. Selling price of 1 gram I can easily calculate to be 10 by 9. अब profit या loss percentage निकालना है, that is SP by CP. SP by CP would be 10 by 9. So what do we see? We see in final initial value was 9, final value is 10. So we see an increment of 1 by 9. 1 by 9 fraction we know is 11.11%. So he gets a profit of 11.11%. Right? Next question. A sold a chair to B at 10% profit. B sold it to C at 20% profit. C bought it at rupees 660. Find the price at which A bought it. Right? Now, since there is an absolute value into the question, what we'll assume is that A bought the chair for 100x. Right? Now, he is selling to B at 10% profit. Right? The cost price of A is 100x. Cost price of B would be what? Cost price of B would be what? A के rate में 10% ज़्यादा. So 10% का multiplying factor will be what? 10% is 1 by 10. Multiplying factor will be what? 1 plus 1 by 10, that is 11 by 10. Right? So cost price for B is going to be 110x. Similarly, cost price of C. So cost price of C is B ka rate and the profit. So B ka rate is 110x and profit that he's earning is 20%. 20% के लिए multiplying factor is going to be 6 by 5 till the time. By now we should remember 20% is 6 by 5. Right? So what do we get? 22 into 6, 132x. So cost price for C is turning out to be 132x. And we have been given that C bought it for 660. And I from my calculation know that C bought it for 132x. So that simply means that my 132x should be equal to 660. That simply means that my x should be equal to 5. So if my x is equal to 5, the price at which A bought the chair is 100x, that is 100 into 5, which turns out to be equal to 500. So A bought the chair for 500 rupees. Correct? One more question. Kiran sold a table at 20% loss. If he sold it at 10% profit, he would have earned rupees 300 more. Find the cost price of Kiran. We do not know the cost price of Kiran, but there is an absolute value into the question. Right? So if there is an absolute value, what we'll assume is that cost price for Kiran was equal to 100x. Right? And he sold it at a 20% loss. So selling price for Kiran is going to be what? His cost price multiplied by loss का multiplying factor. 20% is 1 by 5. Loss हो रहा है तो 1 minus fraction, that is 1 minus 1 by 5, that is 4 by 5. So selling price for Kiran is 80x. Now it is telling you कि if he sold it for 10% profit. So if imaginary SP, let's say for Kiran, if he sold it for 10% profit, so 100x multiplied by 11 by 10. 11 by 10 is the multiplying factor for 10%. So he would have sold it for 110x. Now it is being given कि भाई the gap between the two, because he would have earned 300 more. So because of selling at this price, he is losing 300 as compared to this price. So that simply means that the difference between these two prices is nothing but equal to 300 rupees. Right? So 30x is equal to 300 rupees. X is equal to 0 से 0 gone, 10. The question is find the cost price for Kiran. Cost price for Kiran is 100 into 10. That is 1000 rupees. 1000 rupees will be the correct answer in this case. Right? One more question. Ashok bought 15 kg of cashew nuts. Ashok bought 15 kg of cashew nuts for 540. He was forced to sell them at a loss equal to amount he would have realized by selling 3 kg. Find his selling price per kg. Right? So it is being said that the cost price of 15 kg was equal to 540. right? So cost price of 1 kg will turn out to be what? Cost price of 1 kg will turn out to be 10, 20, 30, 36. 36, right? Then it is being said that he was forced to sell them at a loss that is equal to the amount he would have realized by selling 3 kg. So selling price of 3 kg, we do not know, right? But okay, we do not know the selling price. All right. So the selling price of 3 kg is equal to what? Loss equal to, okay. So he sold 15 kgs and he got a loss. Okay. So selling price of 15 kg minus the cost price of 15 kg will give me a loss, right? Or ये तो minus में जाएगा, but cost price of 15 kg because he is having a loss, that simply means cost price of 15 minus selling price of 15. भाई वही 15 खरीदा वही 15 बेचेगा. So cost price of 15 minus selling price of 15 will give you a loss. And loss ka value has been given equal to what? Loss ka value has been given to be equal to selling price of 3. Right? So CP minus SP is giving me loss. Right? 15 ka CP minus 15 ka SP is giving me loss. But loss value has been set to be equal to SP of 3. So loss ki jagah dal diya SP of 3. Solve it now. Cost price of 15 is equal to selling price of 18. Right? And I know the cost price of 15 to be 540. So selling price of 18 will be equal to 540. Right? So selling price of 1 is going to be equal to what? Selling price of 1 is going to be equal to 30. To find the selling price per kg, we have already calculated 30 rupees per kg. Right? Moving on to the next. Balu sold 2 TV sets, one at 10% profit and other at 10% loss. Find his overall profit or loss percentage if he sold both the sets at the same price. We have already done this. If the selling price is same and on one you are gaining X% and one you are losing X%, right? Then what is the overall transaction may loss? The loss percentage is equal to X square by 100%. So in our case, X ka value is equal to 10. So we are incurring a loss of 100 divided by 100. That is, we are incurring a loss of 1%. So 1% loss is what we are going to see in this particular transaction. Correct? Let's move ahead. Next question. A trader marked his good 40% above the cost price. Right? So let's say, see again in this entire question, there is no absolute value. So I can assume my cost price to be equal to 100 rupees. Right? And it is being said he marked it 40% above. So 40% ka multiplying factor is what? 40% ka multiplying factor is 2 by 5. Right? Fraction is 2 by 5. So multiplying factor would be what? 7 by 5. So marked price is cost price say 40% more. So this is going to be equal to 140. Then he says that he then gives a discount of 20%. Right? Find his profit percentage. So profit percentage के लिए we need the selling price. और selling price and mark price and discount में क्या relationship है? तो discount का multiplying factor is equal to SP by MP. Right? We know that discount is equal to SP by MP. Right? So if I need SP, it will be MP, that is mark price minus discount multiplied by discount percentage. So my mark price is 140 and discount percentage is 20%. So 20% loss हो रहा है. तो multiplying factor will be what? 1 by 5, 1 minus 1 by 5, that is 4 by 5. Correct? So what do you get? 5 ke table mein this will go how many times? 2, 28 times, 28 into 4, 112. Right? So selling price is 112. अब आता है profit percentage. Profit percentage is SP by CP. SP by CP will be what? 112 by 100. That means initial value was 100, final value is 112, an increment of 12 over 100, 12% profit. Correct? एक और क्वेश्चन करते हैं. Sachin gave a discount of 20% on the mark price of his watch and then sold it. He made a profit of 25%. Okay. By what percentage did he mark the watch above his cost price? Right? We do not know anything about this. Right? Let us assume that the marked price for Sachin is 100x. Marked price for Sachin is 100x. Now he gave a discount of 20%. So my selling price is going to be what? Mark price multiplied by discount का multiplying factor. Discount 20% discount का multiplying factor will be 4 by 5 क्योंकि decrease कर रहा है. So my selling price is nothing but equal to 80x. Correct? अब इस पे भी profit कमाया 25%. तो profit percentage was equal to what? SP by CP. Right? तो So if you know the SP, you know the profit percentage, CP can be calculated by SP by mark price, multiplying factor. SP is 80x, multiplying factor for 25% profit is what? 25% is 1 by 4. Multiplying factor क्या हो जाएगा profit का? 1 plus 1 by 4, that is 5 by 4. Right? So 5 comes here and 4 goes in multiplication. This goes 16 times, 16 into 4. 16 4s are 64x. So my cost price is 64x. My marked price is 100x. So how much is marked price above the cost price? तो percentage increase की बात पूछ रहा है. That is final value by original value. Final value is 100x, original value is 64x. X and x is gone. What are you left with? 50 divided by 32. What are you left with? 25 divided by 16. Correct? 25 divided by 16. So original value was 16, final value is 25. So we see an increment of 9 over 16. Right? 1 by 16 we know is equal to 6.25%. So 9 times of it will be equal to what? 9 5, 45, carry over 4, 9 to 18, 4, 22, carry over 2, 9 6, 54, 54, 2. 9 6 are 54, 54 and 2 is going to be equal to 56. So the mark price was 56.25% above the cost price. Right? Okay. So we are done. That was the total number of questions that we had. And I hope I have made everyone clear कि किस तरीके से आपको approach करना होता है. What is the approach while solving? And after watching this video, I am sure that you must be clear with the basics. In the next video, we'll be moving towards your partnership, which is the last topic for percentage profit and loss chapter.